everybody, it's the Modern Day Nana. How's everybody doing? So today we're going to make a quick craft. We're going to make a wreath, and my son's birthday's tomorrow, so I'm going to make him a baseball wreath. Now, we had all our kids in Little League, as probably many of you did or will, and my husband taught, coached probably all the kids at one time or another, and so I'm sure all of these probably came from the grade school ball field where they played mostly, or wherever, and just got left or whatever. So I've got a big bucket of baseballs that have been out in the garage for years because my baby's 33. So anyway, so what we're going to need is some baseballs. You can buy new or, find them, collect what you've got. We're going to need some ribbon. Now, I have got, I don't want my glue gun. I have got a variety of old ribbon, but then I also have some spools of ribbon that I got at Dollar General, I think, a couple of years ago. I probably got about 5 of them, and they were on the, I'm not sure what season they were for, decorative ribbon, $2, and I'm sure they were on the 90% off. So what's that make them? Like 20 cents for a roll of ribbon? Yeah. So I probably bought, quite a few of them. So there's 3 of those. There's some of that. And then we have miscellaneous colors. We might do like a messy bow. We'll see. I mean, it's for a guy. So we'll see how we feel about that. But that's basically all you need other than a wreath form. Now, I have got 2 here. I just so happen to have 2. And so the baseballs are pretty heavy. I am confident you would not need 2 if you just want to use 1. But I have 2, and I want it to be nice and sturdy. Might put it outside. It'd be really cute on the front porch. And my front porch has got a lot of red. So, yeah, he lives with me. So, anyway, so that's what we're going to do. So, I think, first of all, we need to wrap our frame, and that will make a nicer surface to glue the baseballs to. This would be cute, with different balls too. Golf balls, if you have a golf, player, or softballs. The baseballs actually fit perfectly in the scooped out part. Generally, when you're making a wreath, you would make this your outside. I mean, I do anyway, but because those baseballs are going to fit in this indented part so perfectly, I'm going to use this. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this. I'm going to do it fairly tight, but still to where I can kind of get them pushed into the to that indention. So, and really, the only reason I'm wrapping it is to give the baseball something to adhere to and to cover up the frame. So that's my reasoning for even covering the frame. You could do it and not cover it, but I think this will just be a nicer finished product. So, I worked the last 2 nights, but I'm going to be off tonight, and tomorrow night. My son just said that his cousin wanted to take him out tomorrow for his birthday, and one of my very best friends, her birthday is the same as my son's. So to lunch with them tomorrow since I'm off, won't be sleeping, then might do something with her tomorrow night. That'd be fun. We'll see. She was up at her folks this evening doing something with her folks, and you know, they're getting up there in age, so you want to spend as much time with them as you can. Yeah, see, that's still, it's nice and, you know, taut, but it's still gonna allow me to kind of get into that indention. And I'm not even gonna glue just when I kind of join the pieces together. And you could do this with, you know, whatever you could roll around on here. You could use scraps of fabric, you could use rope, whatever you've got. Anyway, so I'll tell you real quick while we're wrapping this up. I have been outside. Oh, you know, a project, it's always such an ordeal. You think, oh, this is going to be a fun little project, and then it ends up being a bigger ordeal than you think. But you know, that's just the way that goes. You almost have to plan on it. So I had bought a bunch of stuff, and I might have showed you in a haul. I haven't done a haul in a while. I had got a bunch of fairy garden stuff at Dollar Tree. Here's another just random piece. And I wanted to make a fairy garden. Well, I was out there, and I've got a tree that's right by the patio, so you can see it, and you can see it when you go out my door, and I thought, oh, that'll be cute. So I started in, well, of course, all around the tree. First of all, there were weeds, and it is rock, you know, but the rock is, it's been there a while, so it's kind of dirty and that kind of deal. So I had to get up the weeds, and then I pulled the rock away from the base of the tree somewhat. Then I ended up laying down just some old cardboard I had, and then I started, I had gotten some mulch at Walmart, because I always need some mulch, so I just picked some up when I was there a while ago. Anyway, so then I thought, okay, all right, let's pull this away. Let's kind of flatten this out so we have kind of a base to work with. So then I started, put the cardboard down, put the mulch on top, and then I used a couple of bags. It took me a couple of bags, but I went ahead and did around the whole tree of mulch. So then, waste not, want not. So I used the mulch bags, because I thought, oh, plastic, you know, that's good. So I laid it down and threw a little cardboard over that and mulched that. So now it looks really nice. The whole, all the way around the tree is done. And then I started dragging out the fairy stuff, and what I did was I just got all the stuff that I had gotten from Dollar Tree. I think there's some stuff in there from, oh, I don't think these are the same. They're not the same. This is a little rougher. No, it doesn't matter. I mean, it looks the same, but this is definitely a smoother fabric, more silky. Anyway, so as I do, I got all of my junk together, took it out there, and just kind of started messing and placing and seeing where I wanted things, but it's already super duper cute. But I'll finish it with you guys. And I was a little aggravated, but it's going to turn out fine. I had gone, I might have mentioned it, my daughter got me a gift certificate for a local nursery, and I went and picked up flowers. Well, they had this whole little section that was flowers for fairy gardens. Just little miniature plants. Super duper cute. I probably got about 6 or so. I'll show them to you. They are so cute. So, I was thinking, okay, I'm kind of at the stage where I can put the plants in, and this is under a big tree. So it's going to be protected, you know. It'll get a little rain through the tree branches, through the leaves, but it won't get poured on or anything. Anyway, I started using or looking at the tags for all the little cute little flowers. They all need pretty much full sun. So I was like, okay, plan B, or C, or D. So anyway, so I think what I'll do, I have plenty of stuff. So I got things set up over there, and it is so stinking cute. And I'll use those plants for something else. But I had, it's probably been 3 years ago or so now. It was winter time. We had an ice storm, and the ice storm broke off. Everything got so heavy that it broke off a limb of that tree I'm talking about. Oh, perfect. And so in where the tree, it was big. There was like a hollowed out spot where the wood was kind of rotty, you know. I mean, it just broke this big old limb off. But it's so cute because I just kind of, you know, cleaned out that a little bit, and it made this nice hollow. And I happen to have a couple of impatiens left, which of course are shade flowers, and I just stuck some dirt in there and put that impatient in that little hollow area. I mean, it's plenty big, I think, to grow it. So that is cute, and I will save the rest of that for the next video I do, because it's adorable. Okay, so yep, just wrapped it around there. Y'all have probably done that, you know, a gazillion times. Now what I'm going to do, I have some that are here. Here's just the plastic. Here's a little plastic thing it came on. Honestly, I don't know if that'd be heavy enough, but I'm gonna act like it's gonna be heavy enough. So that's just gonna be my top, just because, you know, it's there, like the tag was on. So what I'm thinking is, I'm just gonna go around, and I have some that are really dingy and some that are pretty white. I actually, because they were so gross, I actually took and dunked them in, you know me, or maybe you don't, but in hot soapy water. I'm going to put this one here. It says Official League. And I think I'll just going to hold it a second. I think I'll just like do a kind of a scroungy looking one and a more white one. And I did put these on and measure them, or you know, I put them on, and it worked out perfectly. I don't remember how many, but it worked out perfectly. I actually started to do it. I was outside and I started to do it with just put it on the wire. I wouldn't suggest that because first of all, you're going to see the wire. If you don't mind that, you know, that's fine. You're going to see the wire, and second of all, it doesn't give it really enough to grip to, you know, because it's just that wire. And this way, these guys aren't going to be going anywhere. So I'm just going to, this is going to just be real super simple, but I think really cute. This one says Rawlings. There was a Rawlings plant. Well, would it be called a plant? There was a Rawlings factory. It was a factory in the little bitty hometown my mom was from. I don't know if any of them ever worked there. They made balls and gloves. I don't know if they made anything else there, but you know, leather. And this little town, I think at its heyday, it had like 1,000 people, and I took my kids down there once. My younger son was absolutely nonplussed. He was like, what and where have you brought us? Are we going to get killed? What's happening here? Because, unfortunately, the little town had just dried up. It's down in a holler in Missouri, and there's no occasion to go there. You know what I mean? You don't have to go through there to get to anywhere. You got to go there. But at one time, I think in their heyday, they had about 1,000 people. They had the Rawlings factory, several grocery stores, a drugstore, you know, soda shop. My mom grew up there, and she has such fond memories. It was, I don't know if I told you this before, it was, I'm just trying to decide where I want this. It was a turnaround, I believe is what Mom called it. It was a turnaround for the railroad. So literally, the railroad stopped there. And that's where trains would turn, and I don't know. I don't even know what a turnaround means, but that's what she said it was. So, see, I'm not putting these the same way. I'm just kind of randomly putting them on here. Except I do want some of the lettering. But other than that, I'm not paying much attention. Oh, shoot, except all three. Oh, no, I'm not going to, guys. Anyway, so, yeah, interesting tidbit. But, you know, I lived there. Her mom and dad lived there. I think her mom was from there. The folks had a little farm. Grandma's folks had a little farm. And, McGregor. And, then Mom went to school there. And I actually went to school there until we moved to Rolla, which is just about, I don't know, 10 maybe, max, probably not even 10 miles away. We moved there when I was before 2nd grade. So, do we want to do Franklin or official league? Oh, that one says official baseball. Let's do Franklin. That's my dad's first name. He loves baseball. Of course, he loves the Cardinals, you know. Official baseball, Power Bolt. See, some of these I went to stick down, and then I was like, I don't like that. So I pulled them up. It was getting, I'll put the Power Bolt kind of sign up. Yeah. So, now it's just a sad, sad, sad little, you know, place that it's hard to imagine that there was anything really cool ever going on there. But it was, Mom said it was a bustling little town in her day. And there was an old restaurant which is still there. Bless them. They've tried to do different things with it. It's such a cool old, especially to me, had a neat old courtyard. Look, see how perfect that is? And the railroaders would come, and it was a boarding, well, it wasn't a boarding house, you'd just stay there. you know, so upstairs was all these little rooms. And downstairs there was you ate family style. There was a big kitchen in the back. My grandma made fried chicken and biscuits. And, yeah, I remember that. All right, look how cute this is, but it's heavy. Okay, so I don't think we need to do anything else, so I'll let it sit here overnight. I don't think we need to do anything as far as, you know, more stickum. You know, we could kind of go under here if we wanted, and just because they are so heavy. See what I'm doing? See, I'm just kind of going under here. I'm not sure that we need to, but some of them seem a little flimsy, and I certainly don't want them falling off. So we'll do it because, of course, obviously the glue's clear, and I'm squirting it underneath. So you wouldn't see it anyway. But, you know, we've got Father's Day coming up real quick. And if you've got a dad that, or a husband, or a brother, or a son that enjoys baseball, or like I said, golf, it'd be really cute. You could do a smaller version, you know, with the smaller wreath forms, or just do, well, any balls, really. Tennis balls. That'd be really cute. You know, just make it your own. I'm just squirting glue willy-nilly here, but like I said, I don't want it to, I don't want anybody leaving the party. Okay. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Alright, so let's decide what we want to do. Here's my little thingamajobber. Let's decide what we want to do for a ribbon. Now, I had this ribbon on another wreath, actually. You can see where I put it on there with a piece of fabric. So this is actually, could be fluffed up and looks pretty nice. You know, kind of the Americana red, white, and blue concept. It's not wired, but it's pretty stiff, so, you know, it's just been smashed in a thing somewhere. That's why it's so pitiful. And I need to just make like a short of a bow tutorial, because I've definitely done bows in lots of things. But so we got that option. You know, although I feel like I feel like maybe that's too much, and it's a guy, which I'm not saying guys don't like bows, but we could just take bits and pieces and kind of make like a messy bow and just kind of tie it, you know, tie it on here. Let's do that. So I'm literally just going to take, and it's a nice way to use your scraps too. This was some fabric I had. I'm not sure I can get it in here. I might have to just, we'll just lay it in here, and then we'll tie a piece over it. And let's kind of go from bigger to smaller. Okay, so now we have, we're just going to layer our pieces, kind of crissy-cross, but it's fine. Just stick them in there. Oh, we forgot our our little red ones. That might be good to tie it together with. Okay, cute. Well, I liked the concept. It was just the way it was I didn't like. Okay. Woo, you guys, I was squatting down so much in that, trying to get those weeds pulled and that mulch down and dragging those bags and yada yada. Whoosh. La la la. Well, here's one more piece. Throw her on there. Throw her on there. Okay, this is going to work. Now I'm just going to take this little. I'm just going to take this small. And just tie it in a knot. And then we can just glue it on, and we could actually have this piece as a hanger. I just want to get that tight enough in there that things aren't going to slip out. Okay? Alright. Okay. So now this is the top. We decided. So I think what I'll do is I will just, yeah, that looks tons better. I'm just going to make sure these are free. And I'm just going to give it a big old glob of glue. And kind of fold it up. And just kind of stuff it in between those two baseballs. Okay. And then that way we'll have a cute ribbon, and we can trim this off. Hold on, this should be over here, I think. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can fluff and mess with it. Okay. Let me look at it real quick. Yep. I think that will be really cute. And let's just trim these off. You know, however if you want to dovetail them, or I think I'm just going to cut them straight across. Just make sure they're kind of neat. Okay. Oh, we want to hold on to that one. That might be one of the ones we're going to hang it up with. And we could, if we wanted to, take a piece of this. Uh-oh, I'm pulling it out. Well, here, that'll work. Let's just take a piece of this, since we just glued this down. Let's take a piece of this, then, and let's go ahead and tie the whole thing to the back, since we just kind of glued it there because we were going to, which plan was that? At least C. Yeah, give it a couple little knots, you know. And then, I think that's too long. Oh my goodness, these scissors are dull as dull can be. Hold on, I don't want to cut all these little red ones because we might need to. Oh, shoot, ski. They're so, you know, they're so fine. There, do we want to kind of pull some of them down? And just mess with it, you know, whatever you think. However you like it. And it'll kind of settle down too when it gets hung up. Okay, so where's this long one at? Okay. So then we have I feel like these are a little willy-nilly, these red ones. I'm going to cut them down a little. Okay. You kind of tuck and fluff and mess. You wouldn't have to put a bow at all if you didn't want to. If you feel like, you know, whoever you're giving it to would rather have it plainer, you could do that. I'm going to go ahead and tie these because they want to come undone because this ribbon is so fine. Just going to grab a hold of each end and just kind of tie them in a knot. Okay, and now we have our tie here that we can tie it up with, and that'll hold it. Although, let me tell you what, if you wanted to use a stronger one, you could. I'm sure this'll hold it, but how cute is that? Okay, with some old baseballs I had. I like the fact that some of them are you know, look newer than the others. He'll really like this. I'll probably end up putting it outside because, you know, where's he going to put it? He lives with me, but there you go. That didn't take us any time at all. It's junk I had around the house. We used up some ribbon. Oh, I did get I've had them here, but I did get the frames. And I did use two, although I really don't feel like you'd have to, okay? So, all right, I am going to go for now. I am going to bring you that fairy garden, and then we're going to have to make another little fairy garden because I got to do something with those plants that all have to have sun. So I will see you very soon. Like and subscribe, guys. Thank you for doing that. Everybody that has, I appreciate you so much. And I'm just going to be messing and a fooling. So, you know, treasure stuff mainly, because that's mainly what I do. Oh, I want to bring you guys, I bought a bunch of summer clothes, some summer dresses and stuff at Goodwill and, you know, thrift store. I wanted to bring those to you and do like a, you know, a clothing one. So I might take a little nerve for me to do that because, you know, putting myself out there. But I'm thinking about that, okay? So if you would like to see that, say something, okay? And maybe that'll encourage me to do it. All right, I will talk to you later. Love you guys. Bye.